choosing to make a TikTok video while your baby was in the hospital. Do you regret that choice?
Many moms are removing all videos of their kids from TikTok after users on the platform discovered a disturbing trend.
Do not mom shame me because we have different parenting styles.
Before we were let into the world of some of the worst parenting on the planet through social media apps like Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok, we had the OGs. Terrible mothers displaying their woeful parenting to anyone who would watch through reality TV shows like Here Comes Honey Boo Boo, The Gosselin Family,
Too bad.
The Duggars. These parents would happily exploit their entire children's lives and sell their privacy to the highest bidder if it meant that they themselves could gain international fame and fortune. Fast forward to 2024, and now mothers who wish to exploit their children in exchange for fame and fortune don't have to wait around for some reality TV show producer to approach them. With apps like Instagram and TikTok, they can do it themselves 24 hours a day, and no moment of their child's life is too private and nothing is off limits. Bonus points if you can post your little children in revealing clothes and in the bath, because who cares about your child's safety when you could gain more followers from showing them in the bath or in their swimsuit, right? Now, we all know that the mumfluencers who exploit their children on Instagram and YouTube are bad.
So they have different colors. This is exactly what you need. It's kind of like the next thing up, and it has a little bit of padding in it.
Alessia did that naughty thing that she's been doing again. Basically, she's got into this habit of pooing in her nappy. She's taking her poo out of her nappy with her hands and putting it into her bed. Did you get in trouble?
But TikTok mums, they are a whole breed unto themselves. I mean, mum talk takes shitty parenting to a whole new level. From whipping out your phone to make sure you catch a child's meltdown on camera because hashtag relatable, right? Why would you bother comforting your child when that might ruin your followers' viewing experience? After all, if you comfort your child and they stop screaming and crying, then you have no content, and content is king.
What are you crying for? No, you're not. So tell me, what's your problem? No, you're not lying. You're okay. Tell me what's wrong with you.
To filming your child's poo explosion and uploading it on the internet for everyone to see. Because it's funny, it will get likes, and if you're lucky, it might even go viral. And who cares that your child's going to be an adult one day with footage of them themselves on the internet for everyone to witness forever? As long as you get the likes and the followers and the money, who cares about everything else? Priorities, right?
Guys, I just picked Darcy out of his seat. He's opened up the nappy. Quick, block on nose.
And do you know what really reels in the viewers? Humiliating your child live on camera. Check out this mum, who apparently doesn't believe in physical punishment, so chooses to do this to her daughter instead.
Physical discipline. Come here, you gotta learn today, girl. No physical discipline. Mom. Don't mom me, no. You had your warning, you had your chance. I told you to listen. I told you stop disobeying my rules. I told you being cute ain't if you have no education. I told you stop disobeying me. I told you to listen and do as you're supposed to. I told you to do good in school. I told you to do your daily routine, and you yet to even do any of it. And you thought you were disobeying me today and I was not coming to cut this hair off. You're sadly mistaken, because you thought being pretty was so much better than being educated or listening to your mom, right? Yes, this is what happens when you don't listen to your mom.
And the poor thing doesn't even try and fight back because she's clearly scared of her mum's temper, and I don't blame her. I'm scared of her mum, and I'm in Australia. I'm an adult.
You learned your lesson. Like, the lesson was learned, no?
Yeah.
And I warned you before I even put it on TikTok that if you continued with this behavior, because you like the app so much, that I'm gonna cut your hair off, record it, and post it. I told you this from 3 months ago, and I've been telling you every week, right?
Yeah.
So this didn't come as a real shock to you. You were just shocked that I actually finally did it, right?
Yeah.
Not one person came to try to speak up to me. I love it. The strength shows.
Now, I know that a lot of you guys watching this right now have grown up with me on this channel and are now mothers yourselves, like me. And there's not a hope in hell that I would ever choose to exploit my children in exchange for social media clout. But I feel like that makes me one of the rare ones. Because let's be real, people love a tiny influencer. The younger the better. And if she's a cute little blonde girl, even better. Look at Ren Eleanor, a 4-year-old girl with 16.8 million followers on TikTok. If alarm bells are ringing in your head at the thought of 17 million strangers following a 4-year-old girl on the internet, they should be. Ren's mother, Jacqueline, this is she, has been exploiting this poor child since she was born. Jacqueline has posted Ren in the bath, albeit in a cute pink swimsuit, but still, any bloody need? I don't need to see your child in the bath.
How do you keep yourself clean? You don't know? How does it feel on your skin? Is it soft?
Eating a foot-long corn dog, which as an Australian I'm guessing is some kind of strange hot dog, but wildly inappropriate content to be posting of your toddler on the internet for anyone with eyes to see. And she also posts just about every other second of Ren's waking life, including videos like, wake up with Ren. Ren eats this strange food. Look what Ren is wearing today. On the surface, it seems innocent enough, right? TikTok is full of accounts dedicated to children, which is a damn problem in itself. But as far as kid talk goes, Ren's account seemed pretty innocuous. Until it wasn't. People started to realize that Jacqueline was posting increasingly suggestive content of Ren with increasingly questionable thumbnails, and people began to get concerned. Videos of Ren playing with a tampon, or in the bath, or eating foot-long sausages and icy poles would get way more views than the other innocent videos. And that should have been a major red flag to Jacqueline that the people who were consuming this content of her toddler maybe didn't have the best intentions.
If your children are on social media and you haven't heard the story about what's going on with Ren, you need to listen up. What moms are noticing is how many times these videos of Ren are being saved. This one of a 3-year-old in a crop top has been saved 45,000 times. Ren eating a hot dog at a fair, 375,000 times.
But when people brought this to Jacqueline's attention, instead of being like, this, I am taking my daughter off the internet, I am not catering to you weirdos and providing you with fresh content of my innocent daughter on the daily, you pervert, it was almost like she took it and ran with it, and people became increasingly concerned that Jacqueline was purposely creating content of Ren that she knew would appeal to the predators.
Her thumbnails keep getting more explicit. It's the wide open legs, the content itself is getting more suggestive. You know full well what you're doing.
Jacqueline has fully monetized her toddler's life and has made her income pandering to creeps on the internet.
Because she's one of them. My name's Deborah, I'm a pediatric and neonatal nurse, and I've worked on a social hospitalization unit. So when I look at Jacqueline Paul, I can say with almost 100% certainty, she is taking requests. And the most disturbing thing about it is that we're only seeing the tip of the iceberg. I believe certain of her videos, certain things she makes a child say, or certain thumbnails that she posts are requests. For her to keep doing that after years of being called out on it, I believe she knows exactly what she's doing and that there is something much more sinister hiding beneath the surface.
Then you start finding comments like this, and also comments like this, and even random grown men duetting the TikToks of a little 3-year-old girl calling them pretty.
Who would save and share a 2-year-old's or a 4-year-old's videos? Let's look at the comments section, shall we? Your daughter is so cute. I like bath videos. Is the child single? Asking for a friend. Is it tender to see how the girl dances? What a hottie. Daddy's love girl. Age is just a number, right? If we take a look at this video, this mother is forcefully putting whipped cream on her daughter's face even though her daughter is uncomfortable, but this woman knows something that the daughter doesn't know, and she's basically just giving all of the middle-aged men and all of the on social media a show, basically. In this 3-second clip, her daughter was sucking on her toes and her crotch was exposed. And again, this mother looked at this video and said, yeah, I'm still gonna post this video, when she knows damn well, she knows exactly what she's doing.
Now, obviously, the drama and controversy reached its way back to Jacqueline, and she issued this video in response.
It started out as a hobby to make a digital scrapbook for my daughter Ren, grew into an interesting role for me as a single stay-at-home mom.
Please enlighten me what being a single mother has to do with this. This is like master manipulation because Jacqueline is blatantly trying to tug on the heartstrings here, being like, I'm a single mother. Exploiting my daughter on TikTok enables me to look after her better.
Ren is my #1 priority, and her upbringing and safety are my top job 24 hours a day. This account has allowed me to provide for my daughter and to set aside money for her future. I'm not sure how this conspiracy theory got started and spiraled out of control. What you need to know is that no law enforcement agencies I conferred with, including the FBI, have found any proof that my daughter's likeness appears on inappropriate websites.
I call bullshit, but I hope she's right.
As a former FBI agent, let's talk about whether or not I think that Ren Eleanor's mom has had a meeting and a discussion with the FBI about what she's done with her daughter on social media. The short answer to that is no.
These rumors are 100% false. If anyone has real tangible proof, please contact me immediately.
And you'll do what? Unexploit Ren? Go back in time and decide to actually protect your daughter? Scrub Ren from the internet? It's not possible. The damage is already done.
TikTok analytics show that my followers are 76.8% female. That's more than 13 million females, including lots of moms.
Oh my gosh. So that means that the other 23.2% of your followers are male. Does Jacqueline realize that 23.2% of almost 17 million followers is 3,910,000 men watching her 4-year-old daughter? And can I also just add that it's not just men that can have deranged reasons for wanting to consume content like that. Okay, most of your followers might be female, but that does not mean that they are good people with good intentions. And she's okay with that?
And I thank you for watching and for your interest in my family.
I mean, if by family you mean your daughter, okay.
Let's load it. Is that okay?
What would you advise to somebody who has created content like that, whether it's her or somebody else, what predators could be doing with that material?
They are using AI to alter the images. They're packaging the images. They're selling them. They're making money off them. And eventually someone will try to find the child. There are well-known celebrities who have far less followers and have full security teams. So what is the security and what is the safety? Because eventually somebody is going to want to meet that child in person.
Do not mom shame me because we have different parenting styles.
Do not mom shame me.
Jacqueline, you can call it mom shaming all you want. You're right, I am shaming your mothering for knowingly and willingly exploiting your daughter to 17 million strangers and essentially selling her privacy for social media clout.
And what you need to know is that I will not stop making this type of content. I think that it's adorable to watch as men get excited and save my videos. I also love the fact that I make at least $10,000 for every post, not to mention the amount of money that I make from the men who requested these things. My priority is not my child, it is money, making men happy, and feeling good about myself as I live a life where I do not have to work because I can rather just sell my child on the internet.
Now, Jacqueline's pathetic response isn't fooling anyone, thank goodness. Most of us with brains in our heads could see through her poorly scripted response, with TikToker Becca Day being one of them. Take it away, Becca.
So we have all collectively shared the sentiment that Ren Eleanor's mother, Jacqueline Paul, is fully aware of the kind of viewership she is bringing in, the kind of people who are viewing her daughter online, and even going to an extra length to make the thumbnails she chooses for her videos of Ren be very inappropriate. It has felt very much pandering to a specific community of people who are not welcome in society. I decided to do a little bit of digging today, and I found something that 100% confirmed my suspicions that Jacqueline is fully aware of what she's doing, and not only is she aware, she is following fan pages for her daughter who have no idea who's behind that page, taking pictures of her child and speaking inappropriately about that child in their caption and in the comments. Let me show you. I didn't go through every single account that Jacqueline follows, but these two accounts really caught my eye. For example, Jacqueline's following this account, Ren Sweet Girl, so I went and looked at some of the things that that account was posting. As you can see at the top, Ren Sweet Girl, that's the account, and these are the comments. What's this here? Let's go check out that profile. That's a grown man. When I went to look at the recent followers who followed Ren, this was one of the recent followers, and I went to see who that person was following. He was following virtually all little children's accounts. The urge to protect your children is such an overwhelming instinct that a parent has. So to see this parent actively put their child in harm's way over and over in just pretend that they don't know that what they're doing is wrong is extremely disturbing.
Anyway, it seems as though for once, internet concern has won and all of Jacqueline's videos of Ren has been removed from her TikTok account. The account is still there. It still has almost 17 million followers just waiting to be uploaded on again. But for now at least, little Ren is not having new videos of her posted daily for anyone with eyes to see. But of course, the damage is already done for the most part. The sheer number of fan accounts dedicated to a toddler created by adults is a concern in itself. Like, what kind of adult has the time or inclination to create a fan account for a toddler that isn't theirs? They're either not right in the head or they seriously need to get a hobby because that behavior is not normal. Then there's the sad fact that the content of Ren as a child that her own mother filmed and distributed to millions of strangers via TikTok will never be wiped from the internet. That little girl's safety will always be in jeopardy now, as it's not that hard to decipher where someone lives, where they go to school, places they frequent. The weirdest thing is, Ren's mom doesn't even speak or interact with Ren during these videos. It's literally just videos of this little girl being posted online for other people's benefit. Like, watch this. And the problem is, it seems like other mums have been inspired by Jacqueline's exploitation of Ren and her subsequent internet fame and monetary earnings and are now following suit. TikTok is full of inappropriate content of little children that does not belong on the internet. Little kids in the bath, little kids in swimsuits, little kids eating oddly shaped food items, things that should and would usually be innocent videos, but that can so easily be warped and used by people who don't have good intentions. And that's the danger. If you see content like this online, please make some noise. Please report it.
Jacqueline really seems to prioritize her own privacy. And it just didn't sit right with me, the fact that this mother has made a living off of exploiting her child while trying to keep her own life private.
If you're putting content out there of your children and you have tons and tons of moms saying, hey, this is being perceived inappropriately, this is not good, people are after your kid, and instead of immediately taking it off of the internet, you defend your actions, you are a problem and you are providing access to your children willingly.
If these mums aren't going to take their kids' privacy and safety seriously, then perhaps we need to on their behalf, because I kid you not, guys, their TikTok mums are rampant right now, using footage of their underage, unconsenting children to gain social media fame and fortune. Speaking of internet security, not only are we using the internet for social media, but we're also using it to purchase things online, access our internet banking, store photos of our children. So having impenetrable security for your devices in this day and age is so important. You know, when you're indulging in a bit of online therapy, maybe you're buying a new outfit or some makeup, and that little box pops up offering you to pop in your name and email for a discount, and you happily oblige. After all, 15% off is nothing to sniff at. Then you start to notice something peculiar. You start getting emails, lots of them, from websites you'd never provided your information to. You start getting spam calls to your private mobile number. Do you want to know something frightening? Anytime you provide your personal details online, you run the risk of them falling into the wrong hands. And those wrong hands belong to data brokers. A data broker is someone who sells your personal private information to other people without your permission or your knowledge. They can access all the information that you don't want them to have, such as your name, your social security number, logins, passwords, home address, location history, online activity, and so much more. They gather this information and then they sell it on to anyone who is willing to buy it, including scammers and fraudsters. Now, the worst part is that getting your personal information removed from data brokers' databases is virtually impossible. But fear not, girlies, because there is someone who has made it their mission to do just this on your behalf. Enter this video's sponsor, Incogni. Incogni is a service who, on your behalf, reaches out to these data brokers and requests the removal of your personal data. Recently, there was a pretty significant data breach where a data broker breached a national public database and sold 2.9 million people's social security numbers. And as long as you keep using Incogni, they will keep scanning these data brokers for your personal information and keep getting it removed. So if you're not yet protecting your online identity with Incogni and you're like, crap, where do I sign up? You can click the link below or go to incogni.com/Steph Lange to get 60% off your own year-long Incogni plan to keep you safe and protected online. Don't wait until the data brokers steal your personal information. Get your internet bodyguard now. Click the link below or head to incogni.com/Steph Lange and get protected today. enter the TikTok mum, Whitney Leavitt, whose newborn son Lee was rushed to hospital struggling to breathe with the potentially deadly virus RSV. And she decided that now would be a brilliant time to gain some social media clout and video herself dancing around her newborn baby's hospital bed whilst he's hooked up to oxygen. So whilst she was all happy and smiling and dancing whilst her newborn was sick, when the negative reaction to her video began to gain traction, she suddenly turns on the waterworks.
I understand people are upset with the video. That was me just trying to be positive. That honestly was just me just trying to be positive.
She wasn't merely staying positive, she was using her child's sickness as content for social media.
Let's be real, I think there's a little more than just a coping strategy going on here. When you record, dance, edit, write captions, and post this online without a second thought, I think you know damn well that this is the type of video that is gonna get those sweet views, likes, and attention. I mean, you got a sick baby, dancing, it is the perfect recipe. It also says a lot when the first instinct to your baby being sick is to dance on TikTok, but when you get those TikTok hate comments, that's when it's time to cry for sympathy.
Now, of course, there are some people who staunchly defend Whitney's video and they're like, some people just process grief differently. She was just trying to stay positive. And while that can be true to an extent, when your newborn baby is lying in a hospital bed, hooked up to oxygen tubes, can't breathe properly on their own, struggling with the nasty RSV virus, which might I add can actually be fatal to newborn babies, which hers was, and double whammy, her son also had bacterial pneumonia at the same time as RSV, so the little guy wasn't feeling particularly well. And her first thought was, woohoo, now would be a brilliant time to get some TikTok content, because what better way to drum up engagement than my baby in hospital? I mean, everyone loves a baby in hospital, right? Now look, she's not endangering her child, she's not a bad mum, but it's a little inappropriate. Mums who in theory should be beside themselves with worry, who instead of focusing on their little ones, are whipping out their phone to film themselves, or worse, film their children while they lie in a hospital bed for TikTok. What is the world coming to? Guys, there is a time and place for filming TikTok content, and your sick or injured child is not it. Put the damn phone away.
So Whitney, you also got caught up in another scandal,
Yeah.
and that's with, you know, choosing to make a TikTok video while your baby was in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Do you regret that choice?
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%. I wish I never made that video.
You got a lot of
the
heat for it.
outcome that came from it.
Yeah. Do you regret it just because of the outcome, or do you regret it because you think that the intention maybe wasn't genuine?
I think I 1,000% regret it because of the outcome.
Then there's the rather awkward fact that due to her social media influencer status, Whitney has now landed a role on Hulu's new TV show, The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, where the show revolves around a bunch of TikTok influencer mums and the fact that they're all apparently swinging and sharing each other's husbands? I don't know. It's all very sus. And also, due to her large TikTok following, Whitney has recently been paid 20,000 doll hairs to post one Instagram picture. If you want to see the picture in question, here it is. This is the picture that earned Whitney $20,000. And you see that little thing? That's a vibrator. Whitney is promoting a vibrator, which is fine, we're all adults here. But Whitney's whole account is centered around her life as a mum, with content of her children littering her social media feed, and then here she is with a bloody vibrator, draped in a doona, wearing a bra, promoting self-pleasure and clitoral stimulation. I mean, at least she's not one of those influencer mums who in one post is sharing pictures of her child, and then in the next, nude and promoting her OnlyFans account. But still, it's a little inappropriate when her whole brand as an influencer is mum life and her children.
Do you think that like matches your platform though? Because you're all like, oh my god, kids, homemaking, vibrators.
I mean, yeah. Now, Whitney's behavior on TikTok will almost seem normal when you compare her to this next TikTok mum. I present to you Adriel Sigler, the worst mum on TikTok.
Sticking out my yacht for the Rizzler. So skibbity, so phantom tax. I just wanna be your Sigma.
Hi guys, I'm live. Click the pink circle. We have a GoFundMe right now because we're moving and I'm gonna be battling on TikTok live match.
I feel like my brain rotted a little watching that. Please tell me that when my sons are teenagers, I am not filming content of myself twerking on TikTok. But anyway, this is Adriel Sigler. She is a mum of 3 kids, and this is the kind of content that she posts to TikTok.
I'm in New York on TikTok live, and the act is Vegan Riz. I'm the green fan of TikTok live match.
I used to do stuff like this when I was 13, not as a grown woman and mother of 3 teenagers. Now look, posting stuff like this to TikTok might seem questionable, peculiar, downright immature, and weird, but it doesn't make her a bad mom. However, what has earned Adriel Sigler the title of TikTok's worst mom is the concerning incident with her teenage son. Because she devised an elaborate scam using her son being beaten to a pulp to swindle money from her followers.
My son had to stay after school. It is 5 o'clock, he's still not home. 5 o'clock, I still haven't heard from my son. He hasn't walked home, he hasn't called for a ride. I'm blowing up his phone. I don't know where he is. So now I'm gonna drive to the school and see if I can find him. Shit, I'm losing my mind. I just want to move out of this city. I just pulled over, my son is calling me. Where are you?
I'm on that street by that old school.
Okay, but where are you okay?
No, I'm not fucking okay. Just pick me up.
What? Where are you? He hung up. This is where my son was assaulted and almost lost his life. My son almost lost his life. Right here. He almost lost his life today.
Adriel created a GoFundMe account with the aim of raising $30,000 to move to a new location because her son got beaten up. I'll let Adriel explain what happened to herself.
I have put this GoFundMe together. The link is in my bio. Our lives are in danger. We have to move as soon as possible, but I cannot stay here anymore. I am in a very scary situation. A situation I hope no one ever has to be in. A situation where our lives are being threatened, our house is being threatened to be broken into. I have to pull my son out of school now and homeschool him. He was robbed, he was brutally assaulted, and I need to move as soon as possible. I'm putting a GoFundMe together. I'm now down to X amount of dollars. I'm not gonna say how much money I have left, but I'm gonna tell you right now it is not enough to move. I just want to move as soon as possible because our lives are at risk.
To be fair to Adriel, if my son was jumped by 9 teenagers and beaten to within an inch of his life, I'd probably move too. Do I for a second believe that Adriel is that terrified for the safety of herself and her son that she needed $30,000 immediately to flee? No. What's happening here is that Adriel is exploiting her son's teenage angst and woes and alleged bad behavior to gain attention, views, and money from her followers.
I know you watch me, and I want you to know I see you. I know those kids watch me on here, and I know they're threatening me every day, and I see them. Every time I think about those kids, the threats they made to my son, the assault my son went through, I get put into a fight or flight. And I have to tell you one thing. I'm so angry, I can't even blink. You think this is fake? You think this is a scam? You think this is staged?
I mean, if your teenage son goes missing and your first thought is to whip out your phone and film yourself searching for him for TikTok, you got a problem. If you think it's acceptable to publicize your son's problems to all of the internet and then try to capitalize on his issues to make money, that's a problem too.
That's how it is. That's why we're moving. We're moving to a nice upper middle class neighborhood with a very small school district with upper class kids, so that we don't have to hang around a lower class neighborhood with lower class kids who steal and break the law left and f***ing right.
Now, it does make you wonder, why should this TikTok mum need to raise $30,000 to move house when she herself goes online to brag that she earns in 1 hour what most people in her city earn in a week?
When you live in a city where the average annual income is $30,000 and make the average person in this town's weekly paycheck in 1 hour, it gets dangerous. I need to move ASAP. I thought you needed to move ASAP because your son was gonna get killed, not just because you make too many bands, too many racks.
They really are so jealous. I'm a vlogger in a small town, but my small town is not accepting of that. And being the first vlogger in this small ass town has created a wave of haters. As people in this small little town I live in are so jealous of my TikTok following. I'm down to earth. I'm humble.
Not only is she asking her viewers for a ridiculous amount of money, she also makes a ridiculous amount of money, and she's not shy in telling people this. In my last couple of videos, we showed you a clip where she talks about how she would spend $17,000 in a month. She's also made videos like this one, just showing the amount of cash that she has on her.
A fuck ton of cash, and I always leave a generous tip. Seriously, I do. I live and breathe it. Law of attraction, right? I've noticed this, law of attraction, the more you give, the more you receive.
Now, what's interesting is just 5 days ago, the GoFundMe had actually been removed, as you can see here, fundraiser not found. And I think it's fair to say that Adriel Sigler was not happy about this. She made many videos going at GoFundMe.
Yes, you're going to see the GoFundMe link in my bio is not found. Because 1, they needed a bank verification, and 2, days before they requested a bank verification, they wanted me to submit a form proving with receipts where the funds have been going. If GoFundMe has the audacity to contact my new landlord, it's gonna be a cold day in hell.
And yet here she is setting up a GoFundMe account because she needs money? She also posted this video where she details how she spends $17,000 in 1 month. I'm gonna let Conspiracy Tea Time fill you in on what happened here.
The GoFundMe link is in my bio. The GoFundMe link is staying in my bio. This month I spent close to $17,000. $17,000. I'm a single stay-at-home mom of 3. So I'm financially responsible for 3 little humans.
I'll spare you the rest of the video, but here's what she spent $17,000 a month on, all while asking for $30,000. So she pays her rent months in advance, but she didn't tell us how much. Then she says her car had to be totally repaired, whatever that means. That was $5,000. And she had to get a rental car. That was $1,000. Kids' clothes for summer, $1,600. Groceries, $3,000 a month. DoorDash, $800. Gas, couple $100. Car payment, didn't say how much. Utilities, $800 a month. Internet, she personally has 2 phones, so those bills didn't say how much. Each of her kids has a cell phone, didn't say how much. Their in-app subscriptions, didn't say. Kids allowance, didn't say. Things off of Amazon, makeup, hair stuff, supplements, things around the house. Then says that she also rents a garage, but she hadn't paid that yet. She ends the video with this.
Yeah, if you're a single mom and you're supporting 3 kids, and some months, rent is due and your car needs to be fixed, you could easily spend $15,000 to $20,000 a month. Let's not forget birthdays, oh my god, and hair salons. Having kids, okay, maybe you don't have to spend money at hair salons, but you probably should if you want your kids to be happy. You don't have to put them in sports, but you should if you want your kids to be happy. I'm generous. I'm super generous. I invest all my time into making a living through social media, and in return, that goes back to my kids, my investment. I wouldn't be a good parent if I just let my kids live at bare minimum. That sucks. Who the fuck wants to do that?
This was the month my kids needed new cell phones too. I forgot about that.
Make it make sense.